Hey guys, how are we today? It's so good to see you guys. Okay, Aaron, no problem. No problem at all. Vanessa, it's so good to see you, Nature Rocks. And there's Hippie Chick and Mickey. Hey guys, how are we today? I first of all, I have to tell you guys that hey Carl, how are you? Thank you for coming. I have to tell you guys that I'm sorry about missing last week. On Friday the 16th, I tell you guys that I'm from the holler in Kentucky, right? And a place close to my holler they've classified it an EF4 tornado now. And unfortunately, 17 people lost their lives. And it kind of got to me, guys, and I had to stop watching the news about it and stuff. But because it was way too close for comfort. But I do like the great Mr. Rogers said, and we look for the helpers, right? So that's what I started doing and looking for the stories of survival. And one thing about holler folk, guys, is we've got hearts of gold, and we may not have much, but we'll give you what we have, and we always help each other. So that's what's going on. And you guys know at the end of my lives, I always tell you guys the good stories, the happy endings, the good ones. And so I have a few of those with us, that to share with you all today. So that's good. And also, guys, I have a really good update. I know Nature Rocks. Yeah, Vanessa, she messaged me about 2 hours in advance, but I didn't see it because I was sleeping, and my mama woke me up out of bed. And then I texted Vanessa because she can text me on my watch, and I always have that even if I don't have internet and stuff like that. So she kept me updated the whole time. Me and my mama were in the bathtub, and it was really, really scary, you guys. And I know that it impacted Vanessa too because she was watching on radar and she couldn't help, and so it's upset us both, you guys. I think so, Carl. I think that they did. It was a lady that I saw on the news, and I think that they did. So I'm really, really happy about that. Yeah, people don't think about the animals during these times too. Well, that one video that we watched at one of our good Indians, remember, he said that it was like when the dogs they know their homes by smells, right? But they wake up and it's like they're on Mars or something because the landmarks are there and things like that. So bless their hearts. Yeah, thanks, guys. Miss W, so good to see you. Hey, Tony, happy Monday. How are you? Yep, so all we can do is, yeah, Carl, and me and my mama, she's been wanting to get us some helmets now. So I've been shopping for helmets, and I'll have to send you guys pictures. I'm not putting them online, but I'll send you guys pictures when we get our helmets. Oh my goodness, can you imagine? It's gonna be a sight, but whatever makes her feel better, and it's a good idea because I saw a lot of people had head injuries, so I think it's a really good idea. I was wanting this pink one that I showed it to Vanessa, I think, and a few other of you guys, and that's the one that I want. But my mama says it's got to have a face cover, so I couldn't get that one. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we'll make it though. We just got to be ready because none of us knows the day and time when the Lord comes for us, so we got to be ready. Um, but I do have a good update for us. Oh, wow, Mickey, she says we don't have a lot of tornadoes here in Michigan, but we've had 25 just this month. Wow. You know what, Mickey? One of my friends, Foxy, I said, I need to get out of Kentucky Holler because this season has started early, and it's more. You're right, it's definitely more. And So he looked it up, and Massachusetts has the least number of tornadoes. They only have like two or something, but they have a lot of snow. So I don't know, but you probably have a lot of snow there too. So yeah, but that was a good fact to know. Massachusetts, I wouldn't have guessed. But you guys remember that I showed you guys the last time at the beginning. They Carl, he really, really does. And that Maysville tornado, that was by where my sister lives, and she said that it only missed her house by a football field. And that one was in December too. So who would think that a storm that bad would hit in December? Usually they don't hit that late in the year. Yeah, guys, Nature Rocks, she knows what she's talking about. She gives the best tips and keeps an eye on us all. She keeps an eye on us all in the Discord too. I'll drop that for you guys later, so that you can email me if you'd like to get in the Discord. Um, Remember I showed you guys that. Let me see if I can find it again here. I showed you guys the. I'll have to find it this other way. I showed you guys the. Let me see here. I showed you guys the video for the missing dialysis tech. Remember Tiffany Slayton last time? And I showed you guys the little video of her riding her electric bike, and she had been missing for 3 weeks, you guys. And she was found. She was found, and she had actually dislocated her knee. She had been in an avalanche, and how they found her was this one guy, I think it's called Vermilion Valley, is where he had went to open up his cabins for the year, and he said he had left one cabin unlocked just in case for situations like hers. And he went up to open them up for the summer coming up, and he found her, and she was there. And I would like to share with you guys this. Uh Hang on, guys, something is going on here. It's not letting me share screen. It's wanting me to invite people. Oh no. It says that it's not responding. I hope you guys are there still. There we go. Okay. It's working for me now. Are you guys still there? Well, it was working. Okay. I think I got it now. Let me go here. And then let me go back here and share it big. There we go. Okay, let me see here. Yep, so let me read you guys what the Fresno sheriff said. And you guys, people are saying that they don't think that this can be true. But I really feel like it's true because her parents were really, really worried about her. They, okay, Carl, I'm glad you're here. Everybody else is here too. Okay, I really feel this one is true because they last spoke to her on the 20th, and she missed a very important conference call, and they reported her missing on the 29th. And so I don't believe that she would worry her parents like that. And she was finally found on May 14th. So I don't think that she would worry her parents like that, to be honest with you guys. But you guys know how it is that there's always naysayers in the bunch. So it says on Wednesday, 5:14 afternoon, now 28-year-old, and she had her birthday right after they found her too. She had her 28th birthday. And it says Tiffany Slayton of Jeffersonville, Georgia, was found safe near Lake Edison in Fresno County. The owner of the Million Valley Resort was checking on his property near the lake when he found one of his cabins was occupied by a woman. He was aware of an ongoing search for a missing woman, and she matched the description. The owner immediately contacted the Fresno County Sheriff's Office to report his discovery. Deputies traveled up to Kaiser Pass Road and met with the owner who had driven Tiffany out to the staging point. The detective handling the investigation immediately reported the good news to Tiffany's parents, who were in Georgia. It is important to note that the road from Kaiser Pass back to Lake Edison was impassable due to the snowpack. People are also upset at the sheriff's office, you guys, because they said people had reported that they had seen her footprints around that area before, and they kept saying that there's no way she could get up in there. So allegedly they wouldn't go look. That was some of the story that I heard. But she says that she had just actually made it to that cabin the night before, so maybe more will come out about it, but I'm not sure. um Snowplows cleared the road on Wednesday, which allowed the resort owner to access his property so he could begin preparations to open it up to the public for the summer season. The owner said he left the cabin unlocked as a precaution for this exact situation, where someone who was lost could seek shelter and increase their chances of surviving the outdoor elements and harsh winter. Mm. Yep. So now I want to show you guys this video of that I found. And there is also a they did a press conference after she was found, and she goes on herself to answer some more questions. She was dehydrated, and she had problems with her eyes from snow blindness, I think they said. But here is the video that I'm going to share right now. My computer it's lagging today, guys. It's not wanting to move as fast as I'm moving. Get up with it, buddy. We're moving on up around here. Get with it.
Tonight, a family's prayers have been answered. Missing Georgia woman Tiffany Slayton has been found safe inside a cabin on the shores of Lake Edison. Her family reported the 27-year-old missing on April 29th after not hearing from her for 9 days. Search and rescue teams spent weeks combing 600 square miles in the High Sierra. That search came to a happy end for all those involved this afternoon.
Action News reporter Tiffany Olin joins us now with the incredible story of how the adventurous camper was found.
He said they spent weeks combing. That's not true. She was reported missing on the 29th, and May 6th, that week, they did spend looking. But I was wondering why it took them a week to start doing the searches like they did. I don't know.
And the reaction from her parents when they finally learned their daughter was alive and well. Tiffany?
Well, it's been almost 4 weeks since Tiffany's family had contact with her. Tonight, they are finally breathing a sigh of relief as they heard the news she's safe.
All smiles from Tiffany Slayton as she was found safe near Lake Edison in Fresno County after going missing for close to a month.
I can't wait to see her and hug her.
The 27-year-old family was overjoyed by the news.
A ton of weight has been lifted.
And then Bobby was crying, and I didn't know what was going on. And I just grabbed somebody and said, "Can I hug you?"
Slayton was on a solo camping trip across the Sierra. She was last seen in the Shaver Lake area on April.
Yeah, her mama said that she got the call, and I think she said that she was at the store, and she just asked some lady if she could hug her when she got the news, and I thought that's something I would do. Oh.
April 24th and reported missing on the 29th.
We talk to Tiffany all the time, and to know that I couldn't talk to her for Mother's Day, it was really hard.
The search spanned nearly 600 square miles and came to an end at the Vermilion Valley Resort on Wednesday, about 45 miles from where she was last seen. The owner of the resort, Christopher Gutierrez, says he was checking on his property when he saw that a door to one of his cabins was open.
She pops out, didn't say a word, just ran up, and all she wanted was a hug.
Gutierrez immediately called the Fresno County Sheriff's Office to get Slayton some help. He says he leaves the cabins unlocked for moments just like this. Hikers in need.
From what she told us, it was a blizzard, and she pushed through that blizzard, and the first thing she saw was a cabin, and she held up in the cabin through the night.
He says locals are shocked and relieved she survived.
It's unbelievable. She survived solely, I want to say solely, from what I remember her saying, off of leaks.
As he brought her down the mountain to meet deputies, she was able to call her dad.
She said, "Dad, I'm alive and I'm sorry, but I'm alive, and I wanted to call you and let you know that I'm alive."
Officials say Tiffany is dehydrated, but otherwise in good condition.
See, guys, I don't think she would worry her parents like that. She said that her phone was dead and she didn't know that everybody was looking for her. I just don't think she would do that purposely to her parents. I don't know. We'll know more.
This is one of the best birthday presents that Tiffany could receive, because tomorrow is her birthday.
Happy birthday,
baby.
Tiffany.
And her parents say they've
bless
trained their
them.
kids to survive just about anything and express lots of thanks to first responders, the community media, and the owner of the resort. Tiffany was taken to the hospital for further evaluation.
Yep. So they took her to the hospital, and I think it was the very next day that she was able to be at the press conference. So she's doing really, really good. Yes, Miss W, it was. And usually I start with updates, and the good stories at the end, which I have another good story for the end, but it was good. We got to start out with a good update today. Those are my absolutely favorite ones. Hey, Jennifer, good to see you. How are you? Yes, that's what yesterday was actually Missing Children's Day, and but they had a new Law and Crime came out with a new video for the case that we're going to talk about today, and I wanted to watch it and review it for you guys before that we talked about it. But I want to tell you guys that that I have NCMEC linked, and there is a lot of channels that did NCMEC fundraisers, and I put a few things in Nightbot before we started. I didn't get a chance to tell you guys yet, but Trisha, that's her channel, you guys, and she is doing a fundraiser right now. So you guys can go over after this and check out her channel. She's doing a fundraiser for NCMEC. You have to, well, let me see if I did it right. I might have just did it like this. So you guys can go to her, and she says that it's lasting for 4 days. Hey, Keith, how are you? It's good to see you. So she is doing a fundraiser right now, and it's going to last 4 days for NCMEC. And I wanted to tell you guys, I don't have 10,000 subscribers, so I can't do a legit fundraiser yet. But I wanted to, but Trisha, she can. So I'm not sure why it's not showing up. Vanessa, have you tried to do anything else with Nightbot today? It might not be working at all. I'll find it for you guys, and which most of you guys know Trisha already, but I'll link it for you guys in just a few minutes. But I was trying to look up stats for missing children today, and I found a lot of different stats, so I'm not for sure for the exact yeah, we'll get there, Vanessa. We'll get there. If it's meant to be, we'll get there. Yeah, Miss W. I don't know why that one's not working. Hey, Teacup Kraken, good to see you. How are you? Okay, thank you so much. Um, but NCMEC has their own stats. So I thought that I would show you guys a little bit of what they do. They help so much, you guys. Well, we know what they do. We've seen it for ourselves. But even in this case today about Alisa, they a tip actually came through them that I'll tell you guys in a little bit. A tip actually came through them, and they found a person that had been in contact with Alisa since she went missing. They do so much, and I figured we could just look at their stats a little bit and see what they did. That's their that's I think yeah, it seems like that's the let me see if NCMEC works. I also they have a YouTube channel, you guys, too, and I didn't even know that they had a YouTube channel, but they do a lot of stuff on their YouTube channel too. That's the one that I put. Well, that one's working. I'll have to see why Trisha's isn't working. It did that to Eddie one day. Whenever I put the new ones in, sometimes they don't work for a day or two. But so I figured we would just look a little bit. Let me see here. Let me come back to you guys. I think I have to make it bigger again. Yep, there we go. Okay, there was a few things that I wanted to show you guys. Our call center specialists are available 24/7 to support families of missing and exploited children. Our national toll-free hotline is 1-800-THE-LOST, and it has responded to more than 5 million calls. And this is the number of calls they just received last year, you guys, 131,000. Amber alerts, they had this is all just for last year. They had 68 Amber alerts. Children were reported as rescued due to the activation of an Amber Alert in 2024. So they had over 1,200 children have been recovered due to an Amber Alert since the program launched. My goodness, that is awesome to even think about. And Team Adam. I know you guys have heard that before when a child goes missing and they have the, hey, crazy mama, good to see you. Thank you for coming by. Thank all you guys for coming by. Oh, okay. Did it work that time? Um, yeah. I know you guys have heard of Team Adam. We know the card unit, and that's from the FBI, but also they'll send out Team Adam, and that is from NCMEC. So we see what their money goes to, you guys. We absolutely see it. Team Adam, named for Adam Walsh, the abducted and murdered son of NCMEC co-founders John and Reeve Walsh, is a network of retired law enforcement professionals and other experts that NCMEC deploys to the scene of critical missing child cases. They provide technical assistance and connect families and law enforcement to NCMEC's vast network of resources. They also provide consultation on long-term missing children's cases. And also, you guys, if we are true crime creators, right? I don't like to say creators a lot because there, it worked that time. Yay. Thank you, Van. Um, so, and we use this website a lot. That's where we get a lot. They have a lot of pictures and missing posters and things like that. We use this website a lot. So it's a great resource. Besides all this stuff they do for the families, we use it. So I don't think there's anything wrong at all for creators to, for this to be a good charity for people. You know where the money's going to. You all know what I'm saying. And they do age progression, facial reconstructions, and identifications. They have done 141 NCMEC's forensic artists age progressed 141 long-term missing children and created facial reconstructions for 37 unidentified deceased children, you guys. 37 that are unidentified. NCMEC assisted with 111 cases solved through the use of genealogy. Overall, NCMEC has assisted in 398 identifications of unidentified deceased children. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. They assisted with 54 local, state, and national operations just in 2024. And we know that this sexual exploitation, that's a big problem too, you guys. It's where um, people in the predators, SOs, they contact children through the internet, and they act like they're the same ages as these children and get them to send them explicit photos, right? And then they'll say, well, if you don't do this or don't do that, I'm going to send these out to your parents and your friends and things like that. And that is a big problem right now too. And it says that they offer tips and things like that. And then the cyber tip line, this is where the case comes in today about Alisa. It says 20,512,000 total reports of suspected child exploitation online. In 2024, the cyber tip line received 20.5 million reports related to 29.2 million incidents of suspected child sexual exploitation. And that was just them, you guys, just knick-knack. So they do. I think this is the page that I have linked at the top if you guys want to check it out for yourselves. But today in Alyssa's case, this is where the cyber tip line, that is where they got one of the tips to help in Alyssa's case today. So now I want to tell you guys about Alyssa. And if you know anything, the help numbers are scrolling at across the bottom of my screen, and they're also in my description. Let me pull up some photos of Alyssa. And also there is a $25,000 reward for the first person who can lead people to Alyssa. And that's offered by her parents. And there is a really good website that her parents also made for her, and it is in my description too. It's called Find Alisa. Okay, now I've got her pictures. Let me come back. Okay. She is 15 years old, you guys, a beautiful little girl. This is a side profile, so we can look at her from the side that I wanted to show you guys. And this is her. This looks like a few years ago. She's 15 now, and that's her. She is 5 feet 3 inches tall, 122 pounds, and she has very long brown hair and brown eyes. And she has a small birthmark on her stomach and a 2-inch discoloration on her left hand from a burn. So that would be good to look for too. It's on her left hand, you guys. And her parents said when she gets tired, one of her eyes, I'm not for sure exactly what they said. Hey, 71, how are you? Happy Memorial Day. Yeah, crazy mama. She says parents need to be strict with kids and social media. It's getting darker and darker out here in this messed up world, unfortunately. Yep. It really, really is. Actually, Alyssa's parents, they thought they were doing all they could. They said that they would check her telephone and it would be like friends and neighbors and things like that. But what had happened was when she went missing, and I'll tell you guys about that. Her mom dropped her off at 9:30 a.m. on the 21st, April 21st. They didn't know that she hadn't went to class until her mama went to pick her up at the end of the day, and she wasn't there. And what they can gather is that she left to a gas station, and then she got a ride from an unknown male, and this is in American Fork, Utah, right? And she got a ride from an unknown male to oh no, crazy mama, I know. It's the crazies. No offense, it's the crazies out here that you got to watch out for. But I'll tell you guys, so she gets a ride from an unknown male to a train station, and Provo, Utah was the last place she was seen, and she was asking people how to get to Las Vegas. And her parents searched her room afterwards, right? Well, they didn't even find it. It was when Ellie came to search her room later that they found her mama said that it was a iPad that was about 8 years old, and they had kept it because it had family photos, right? Well, she had gotten it out and was using that to talk to people on Instagram. So that's what I was saying, that even though you think you're doing all that you can, checking their devices and things like that, they could have one hidden, you know? So maybe you could think about that. You could turn the Wi-Fi off maybe at night or something like that. So in case they have a hidden device, I don't know, you guys. I really don't know. Maybe we could find some tips and we could all share them during a live or something. And Nick Mick probably has some tips on their website too, you guys. Yeah, but her parents didn't even find that iPad. It wasn't until law enforcement came in that they found it. And it was okay, let me tell you guys this. She was last seen wearing a white sneakers, baggy blue jeans, white gray shirt with the word Harvard instead of Harvard, and a black hoodie and a dark backpack. I saw Harvard in some places and Harvard in other places, so I'm still really not for sure about that. But here's some more pictures of her. And I think this was the Sunday before she went missing. So her parents were always getting her out and doing things with her, and just bless them, you guys. And this is her standing up, so I figured I would include that so you guys could see how tall she was. She's kind of short, 5'3". And this is her and her mama, you guys, when she was little. Her parents made that website, findalisa.com. Let me go ahead and I'll share it with you guys in the chat too. So they made this and they offered a $20,000 reward. And her dad has been posting on his Facebook every single day messages to her. And they're trying all that they can do, you guys. I feel really sorry for them. I'll replace this at the top now. So that's the website. It's full of great resources and pictures if you guys want to check that out. She is a beautiful young lady. And then this is a photo of her mama and her daddy and her. And let's see here. And so this is Alisa walked away from her school in American Fork on April 21st, 2025. She went to a local gas station to purchase items and was later seen boarding a UTA train exiting in Provo. Alisa asked multiple people for help to travel to Las Vegas, Nevada. The reason for her intended travel to Las Vegas is unknown. Well, I'll tell you guys what they think. After that, after I told you guys that Nick Meck received a tip, and they said that they had found an Instagram account for her. Well, they found she had been talking to at least two people. One was in Texas City, Texas, and I'll show you guys this boat. There's two suspects that have been named, and both have lengthy histories of petty crimes, but no past child SA convictions. So the first one that I found out about is William Gleams, and I believe he was 37. She started talking to him on February the 3rd of this year. And I'm glad I didn't find the affidavit for his arrest, you guys, because just what I'm reading, the way he spoke to her is absolutely awful. Hey, Debbie, how are you? Good to see you. Are you just getting off work? Yeah. Crazy Mama, I couldn't imagine. I'm glad that I didn't grow up during these internet times. I just think about, you know, they kids have it rough these days. We think they have it easy, but they really have it rough if you think about it. All that you have to worry about, and they worry about online and things like that. So they had found that she'd been talking to him since February the 3rd, and he was charged. I saw that he was arrested on the 8th, and he was but they didn't charge him with everything until May the 12th, and it says he was charged in 4th District Court with 2 counts of aggravated essay of a minor and 2 counts of attempted aggravated essay of a minor, first-degree felonies, 2 counts of sexual exploitation of a minor, a second-degree felony, plus enticement of a minor, and 3 counts of criminal solicitation, a Class A misdemeanor. He was also charged by police in Texas with possessing more than 50 child SA images or videos. Oh, well, that's good. I'm glad, Debbie. I'm glad you could come by. No, they don't, 71. And I don't, in some ways, I think that they're more mature for their age, and in some ways less mature than we were back then. So it says that I have in my notes here, during the entirety of Glenn's conversations with her, the conversations are largely sexual and sadomasochistic in nature. You guys, how sick is that? And there's a this whole live today is a warning, you guys. I should have done that first. I think that's the warning. It's bad. I'll try to save you guys from as many details as I can, but it's not good. Sadomasochistic. He also instructed her to continue participating in actions that she told Gleans were causing a negative impact on her mental health. So I'm not sure exactly what that's about. But they did see that. So both of these guys they knew had been talking to Alisa before she left. But they found that after she got off the train in Provo, she had used a stranger's phone to contact this Gleans dude and tell him that she was safe. But I don't know what they have after that. But they did put that in the charging documents. And then most recently, Matthew Nicholas Menard, 35, of Miami. He was also charged with 2 counts of aggravated exploitation of a minor, plus enticing a minor, and 3 counts of criminal solicitation. But they haven't arrested him, you guys. So the you guys know Steve Fisher. He has done a lot in the Sebastian case. Well, on the video that we're going to watch today from Law and Crime, he says that he believes that this Matthew Menard, that Alisa might actually be with him and they can't find him. But I'm not too for sure about that, because they said that they took his phone, but they didn't arrest him at the time. So I'm really not too for sure about that. And if she was with him, I've only been able to find his picture in one place, and it was on the Daily Mail. And it seems like if they thought they were together, they would be blasting his picture everywhere. Y'all feel me? So I'm really not too for sure about that. No, 71, I haven't heard that. Well, this Menard, they don't have him in custody. But the other guy, the Gleans, I'm not sure if he's been talking or not. And with Menard, it says he instructed Alisa to take inappropriate photos of herself and send them to him. They discuss methods in which the victim can travel without being tracked and avoid detection. They also discuss their future plans and how they can create a false scenario where Matt tells people she is his daughter. How sick is that? So he already has it made up in his mind that so what I can gather is that he's the reason that she was wanting to get to Las Vegas. He's telling her in the messages, allegedly, that he's going to go for business, and to pick her up in Las Vegas, and then they're going to go to Los Angeles for a few days, and then they're going to go back to Miami where he's going to act like she's his daughter. How sick is that, you guys? I know 71. She says if it's human trafficking, they could be in Mexico. Yeah. Yeah, and who knows what I don't can't get in the mindset of these guys, and that's good because it means that we're not like them, you know. Let me come back and get you guys, and I'll show you the photos that I have found. Um, so this is that Gleans guy. Um, let me show you guys. So this is the photo that he probably sent her, which he looks like a doofus here, but he doesn't look as bad as his booking photo. This is what he really looks like. And remember, it said that both of these men, I hate to even call them men, but it said that both of these men have lengthy criminal histories, but like petty crimes and nothing to do with children. But it's untelling when they search their devices how many children they really were talking to, because they've just been talking to Alisa since he's been talking to her since February, and the Matthew guy since January. So they already had all this planned out in what, 2 months? So it's untelling how many they've talked to, you guys. So let me show you. There is a video of her aunt that I thought we could watch, and then her parents did a video, and then we can watch the law and crime video too. I think this one is of her aunt. So it's her aunt and her dad are they're doing interviews too. They're trying all they can to get her found, you guys. I'll share this with you guys too. Very good point, 71. She says that other picture was probably him being goofy with her acting like her age. Yeah, her mom says that she feels that that's probably what they did. That's probably how they got in good with her. Hey, Neat Noodle, how are you? It's good to see you.
According to the Utah Department of Public Safety, there are at least 800 people missing from our state. And Alisa Petrov is on the top of that list. 9 days ago, the 15-year-old went to school in American Fork and was last seen on a Utah Transit Authority surveillance camera exiting a train from the Provo station. I spoke with her parents yesterday, who told me Alisa has not run away before, but had brought up the idea of going to Las Vegas. Now today, her aunt Natalia shared her concerns about Alisa's safety after learning about her use of social media to chat with strangers. Take a listen. What were your first thoughts when you heard that she was missing and that she left her school?
I was very scared because it's very unusual. She's never had the behavior like this before, and it is very difficult to hear that the child never came to school. Unfortunately, we didn't even find out about the fact that she wasn't in school until the parents went to pick her up, and they only knew about it in the afternoon.
It's now been more than a week since she was last seen at the train station in Provo. What's going through your mind as a family member?
We are very worried for Alisa, and we would really like for Alisa to come home. And
70 when I found what her mama said. She says Olga is her name, and her dad's name's Nikolai. But Olga said she believes the pair likely lied about their age and sent her fake or younger photos of themselves to lure her in. I don't believe that was her idea talking to those guys. I think they convinced her to keep talking to them. She said she told them she is a minor, and they still proceeded with the nasty stuff, which is really gross. So she had the same idea that you did. And by the charging documents, she did tell them many times that she was 15, and well, she was actually 14. She just turned 15 of about 11 days before she went missing. So she told them her correct age, and who knows if they told them their correct age or not, you know?
And if Alisa hears me, please feel free to reach out. You can reach either me directly or your father and mother. You can also possibly go to any fire truck or any kind of police department. You can dial 911 and anybody would assist and help you get safely home.
What's most troubling to you about all of this?
Um, what troubles me is I know that Alisa definitely was talking to some strangers who lured her out of the house. And in my generation, obviously, we grew up without internet and we didn't have things like Discord and Roblox, and we were not um, in contact with strangers like this. So there was a lot less to worry about. But unfortunately, in this generation, there is far more access for the children to be in contact with predators. And Alisa is a minor, she's only 15. So whoever is helping her or keeping her, that is definitely not a good friendly gesture. And Alisa could be in danger. And we ask anybody who might have been in contact with her or seen her to please notify the authorities. We're not fully confident that where she was going or who she met. We really don't know. This is a suspicion because this is not a normal behavior for Alisa. And we have talked to all her friends and all their parents. So far, nobody has had any news from Alisa since Monday.
What's the message to their parents about out there about what their children are doing on some of these platforms?
Well, it's actually really concerning. I have two sons as well, and I do know that they do go on several games where they talked with strangers. I know that there is communication with strangers, and it's unfortunate because people get a sense of comfort when they talk to the same person online from time to time to time. And this is a really false sense of comfort because they're really not someone you know. You don't know who they are just because they're saying nice words to you online. And teenagers are more susceptible to believing in things they're being told.
Anything else you want people to know about the situation right now? What they can look out for? What they can do if they believe they see her?
Please just call authorities. The easiest way to call is your local police or maybe 911 and just give a tip to the authorities about the location of this child. If you are able to talk to Alisa, please let her know that she can safely come home, and we all love her and miss her. And we would try to do everything we can to help her. I just really
I want to read to you guys the statement that her parents have on their website, and her dad also, Nikolai Petrov, on his Facebook. He also leaves messages to her almost every day, but it says, Alisa, if you see this, please know that we love you. We will always love you. We miss you. All of your friends and our friends are very worried too. We all want you to come back home. You will not get in trouble for running away. We are not mad at you. We absolutely love you regardless of what happened, and you are welcome home at any time. We just want you to return back so that we are happy together as a family who care about each other, and we will try our hardest to make you happy. Please come back. So, if for some reason, Alisa, if you hear this, your parents are begging you to come back. They say that you're not in trouble, and I promise, whatever you think that you have done, um, they it's it's nothing. It's nothing. They will forgive you. I know they will. They love you more than anybody else. If whoever has you, whoever you're staying with right now, if they have told you things that your parents don't love you anymore or they're angry at you, that is not true. That's absolutely not true. Do not believe that. I know they love you. Your family misses you very, very much. Mama Duck Bee Bear, I can't do fundraisers on my channel yet, but I'm just trying to raise awareness here. But Trisha, she is having a fundraiser on her channel, and you can go there and donate directly to the fundraiser. So I appreciate you so very much. Um, yeah. And like NorCal says, remember today is Memorial Day, and remember all those who they gave their all so that we could be free and speak to each other like we're speaking to each other today, or to practice our religion that we want to practice. I do not take that lightly. I know in a lot of countries, if I had the Bible, I would be, that's not allowed. So I do not take that for granted whatsoever. Um, yeah, okay, let's finish hearing what her aunt has to say.
I hope that Alisa hears this, and if she's staying away somewhere, if she can at least give us a call and let us know that she's safe. We would really love to hear from Alisa. She can contact either her parents or me directly. Any one of us would really appreciate any news.
It sounds like just before this, Alisa was skiing with her family at Alta. It was a normal sort of situation. This is completely unexpected, I've gathered.
This
Is
was
that right?
completely shocking. In fact, Alisa's birthday was just 4 days before this event, and I wished her happy birthday, and she informed me that she was doing really well in school and that her teacher was really proud of her, and they spoke about her being a valedictorian. So none of these events were even plausible in our minds, and we were all shocked.
The family is offering a $20,000 reward to the first person who provides verifiable information that directly leads to the safe return of Alisa. That has to be verified by law enforcement. If you have any information about it.
And again, I want to reiterate that the help numbers are scrolling across the bottom of my screen, and they're also in my description. And also, you can go to that website that I have at the top of my chat pinned, and there is a lot of resources there to help. Now I want to show you guys a video of her parents. They did a pretty good interview here. I thought we could check that out. Here is the link if you want to watch it later. You guys still hear my clicking, I bet, huh? I wear this mouse out sometimes. Click, click, click.
Tonight on Utah's Missing, we're speaking to the parents of Alisa Petrov, the 15-year-old who walked away from school in American Fork now 22 days ago. We first brought you this story a few weeks ago as those search efforts were just kicking off. She was seen on UTA's surveillance cameras exiting a train in Provo the same day she was reported missing, April 21st. Police and her family are concerned, of course, for her safety after learning of a number of things, including her social media use. Nikolai and Olga Petrov, kind enough to join us here on the program, parents of Alisa. We've spoken before, and it's been a few weeks. I guess the newest thing that I was aware of the involvement is what happened in Texas. When you learned about Texas City Police Department's involvement, did that change your focus on how you were looking for her, or was this right in line with what you had thought involving Alisa's perhaps online chats and who she was talking to?
So when we first heard about Texas, we were hopeful that they will find her there. But then the news came out that they just arrested some individual and they didn't find Alisa there. So basically, we are kind of back to square one. But we were talking to police about some other things, and they say that they still have some leads to follow. We just don't know what that actually means because they don't want to give us any details. But according to them, they still have a lot of stuff to go through, and they're still working on it. and the FBI is saying exactly the same thing, that that the police is working really hard. So, and considering that they cooperated with Texas to actually do something, seems like they are actually working hard, and it's not just in Utah. Um, but we don't know where the person is who she spoke with or she ran away to. We still do not.
Yeah, and I have to tell you guys again that the tip that about the Texas City man, that William Gleans, was from NICMEC. They got it through their cyber tip line. So that's another thing that they help with.
Not know that.
Olga, obviously Mother's Day came and went. I imagine it was very difficult for you, but how have you been able to process just not knowing where your daughter is after all this time?
It's difficult, definitely difficult. We're still hoping that we will find her safe. I know almost 3.5 weeks passed, but that's we still have a lot of hopes. Police is working, and we don't know where she is, but hopefully she can see that we miss her, that we wait for her, and we will be happy to bring her back home.
Nikolai, you and I spoke a few weeks ago, and when we did, you mentioned trying to maybe retrace some of the steps of your daughter that night that she got off the train in Provo. What did you do, and who did you speak to when you went back down to Provo and that surrounding area after she had left the train station?
So the second day after, well, I mean, the first day after she disappeared, we did go there and we met a lady. Her name is Joanna, and she spoke to Alisa about. Alisa asked her to buy a ticket to Las Vegas, right? She then connected us with the food bank people, and then there was another guy who apparently Alisa came and asked to drive her to Salt Lake City instead of Las Vegas. And then we connected police with them, and they said that they got some footage, but police is also not really telling us like what they saw in this footage. It's a little bit weird here, because this is actually, I just asked them 2 days ago, like what did you see there and what not, and they did not really clarify anything specifically, but it sounded like they got some footage, they looked at something, and they didn't see anything identifying or weird on that footage. But basically, as far as we understand, there are several people that are saying that then Alisa was talking to somebody at some white SUV, but we do not know if this white SUV took her or not, and we do not know where she went after that. So,
when you learned about the involvement from the Texas Police Department, you and I had spoken about the online platforms, the gaming, the conversations and such. Did you ever suspect that to be really true to what you were thinking? I mean, I know you were believing it, but when you found out that there was this random police department in Texas that got this cyber tip, what did that mean for you in terms of finding your daughter?
I just thought that maybe she is there, just like Olga. Like as soon as we heard about it, about maybe 4 hours after they posted it. Somebody told us on Facebook, and they said, "Hey, look at this! There is this news." So we were very hopeful, but then we called the police, and they told us, "Well, there is a guy."
They said that they heard about the tip about the Texas City man, that they heard about that on Facebook. So that makes me really sad, you guys. I think that before anything comes out like that, the parents should hear about it first from law enforcement.
He was basically like talking to Alisa, but he was basically arrested on unrelated charges, and that's all they literally told us. And we do not know where it went from there.
Police can only do so much. Of course, they have a lot of people working on this case. In the instance now, you've mentioned the FBI, South Jordan Police, whoever seems to get a tip, and then obviously law enforcement, internet crimes in Texas. How much more can you do as family to try to find her? Where do you feel like your line is drawn?
That's the problem. Like basically, police doesn't want to actually comment on anything. Like we spoke to them and we asked them, would it help if we put like billboards or something? They said it's all up to you. They just don't want to comment. What they say
Oh, I want to tell you guys that missing in America, it's either missing in America, missing people in America, one of those. They did donate some billboards just recently, just a few days ago, so that's great. That's really great.
Is that they are doing their own investigations. That we spoke to several non-profit organizations that help searching for kids. They seem to be very helpful. Like all of them seem to have different ideas how to search for kids. Like for example, one organization, they are convinced that Alisa should be somewhere nearby because they see that most of the kids they just stay somewhere nearby where they live. Then we have another organization.
I found it, guys. I saved it for you guys. It is these are an example of the billboards that they made. It's missing in America. Um they put them in Nevada and Utah, and it was the 23rd. So that's really great. Hopefully they'll get some tips from that. It might be good if they could put them in Miami too, since that's where Menard is from, is Miami.
They're convinced Alisa is in Las Vegas. I spoke to another one yesterday, and they have some kind of like internet-based searches that they do. So everybody does something differently, basically, and all of them had some success in the past, which is very helpful. And it seems like since they're doing it from different angles, maybe it actually increases the chance that she would be found. It's just that right now, from our perspective, we don't even know what to do. Like last week, because this guy who said that she's nearby went to some Starbucks. I only went to about 15 of them, so actually 20. But basically, he said, why don't you just talk to Starbucks employees and see if they saw her, like if she's nearby. I spoke to them and nobody saw her. So basically, then we try to figure out what else to do. And right now, we are basically not even sure what to do.
So, Nikolai, since the very beginning, you created the website to try to have the pictures out there and the information, but also you've had the reward. Has anyone reached out to you to say that they believe they have seen her?
Well, so here.
This is another thing. We know that when rewards come out, that the scammers come out, and he's going to talk about it. And it's sad that they already know about the scammers too. That made me really sad.
Here is the problem. So people that are trying to help, they say that they don't even care about the reward. And we had one guy who was very helpful. He was a trucker and he saw somebody who looked like Alisa. He didn't speak English, so he called me. And then basically I spoke to him. I called the police. I translated what he was saying. We were also very hopeful because he said it just didn't seem to make sense that this girl was like a daughter of the guy who was driving her. But police said they actually found the car. They basically spoke to the driver and the girl in the car, and they realized it's not Alisa. So they did phenomenal job for finding them. So it seems like they are doing a lot. It's just that we do not know where to focus. But besides that, we had a lot of scammers, which basically, like the most common scamming technique is they basically give us some money. Usually it ranges between $3,000 and $6,000. And then they say, we'll tell you where Alisa is. And they say it's 100% Alisa, but we already had like 20 tips where they send pictures and they look very similar, just not exactly the right person. So it's really weird right now. So we are still hoping somebody sees her. Let's basically police know and they find her. Like it's just that everything takes time. Like even in that example with the truck, he gave us a hint around 3 p.m. or something. I forgot what it was, but they only found the actual car like a few hours later. So
He's saying, Nikolai is saying that a truck driver called and gave them a tip that a man was seen with a girl that reminded him of Alisa, and it didn't sit right with the trucker that he didn't think that it was really his daughter. So Nikolai said that they called it in, and it was just a few hours later that they found the car and it wasn't Alisa. So, and he's not angry with police at all. He says he seems like they're doing their job. So hopefully things come through soon. NorCal Jim says, as a parent, my efforts go towards educating, being present, boundaries, treating them with respect while still being the rule enforcer. It is not easy, and I have sacrificed my career for them. Well, I'm sure they'll thank you for that when they get older. And I've heard that, you guys know I'm not a parent, but a lot of my friends have told me if they were kind of stricter with their kids, when their kids got older, they actually thanked them for it. So they'll thank you for it when they get older. I see you guys, and thank you for sharing with each other in the chat.
Yeah.
Well, Nikolai and Olga, we're doing everything we can here, of course, to try to keep this out there so people can see it. If they see the photos, if they recognize something, to not only call police, but also get in touch with you to let them know you believe that there may have been a sighting. So, and be wary of those scammers. We hear about it more and more and more of people trying to take advantage of a situation. Nikolai and Olga Petrov.
Scammers and predators and oh my goodness. There's one more video that I want to watch with you guys. Law and Crime just made a video yesterday. I accidentally closed the wrong tab. I'll have to get back here. Just a second, guys. Hold on. Oh, let me find it here. Don't worry, guys. I'll get us just 1 second. What I wanted to show you guys in this one is about where I don't know if Steve Fisher is working on this case. I did notice the first thing I noticed was that Nikolai. I go there and he always posts good updates there, and I noticed that he had Steve Fisher as a friend, and then on this video Steve was speaking in it. So I don't know if he's actually officially working on this case or not, but he does say that he thinks that it's possible that they're not wanting to spook Menard right now, and so that's why they're not plastering his face everywhere. But I don't really know if it's in other places. I see that they're saying that they don't think that she is with either of the guys that she spoke to, that they have found so far that she spoke to before she went missing. So I'm not really for sure. We'll see what you guys think.
Police in Utah say this 15-year-old girl is missing and endangered. She hasn't been seen since April on this surveillance video. Now 2 men who are from states away are facing charges of sexual exploitation of a minor, and one of them is still at large. What we know about them and the sick and twisted things they allegedly said to this young girl before she vanished. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. Right now, a search is on in multiple states for a teenage girl who went missing more than a month ago. And right now, authorities say 2 men have been charged with sex crimes in connection to her disappearance. This is 15-year-old Alisa Petrov. She lives near Salt Lake City, Utah. She's been missing since April 21st. Her mom dropped her off at school that day in American Fork, Utah, which is south of Salt Lake City, and she hasn't been seen by her parents since. We have reviewed court documents charging 2 men with sex crimes in connection to her disappearance. Both of them are in their 30s. And much of what they allegedly told this girl online, it is too graphic and too disturbing to say on the air. I'll get more into that in just a moment, but this here is one of the last known images of Petrov before she went missing. It's from a convenience store. This was put out by the South Jordan, Utah Police Department. Police say from that store she was given a ride by an unknown person to a nearby train station, and she took a train to Provo, Utah. That's roughly 20 minutes south. Police have surveillance of her on foot in Provo, but then she disappears. She was last seen wearing baggy jeans, a Harvard University t-shirt, a black hoodie, and wearing a dark school backpack. She is 5'3" tall. Alisa's parents have been very vocal in trying to find their daughter, but also making sure the public understands this is not just a case of a young girl running away from home. Here's the website they have launched with pictures of Alisa, with flyers and information on where people can go if they have tips. They're also offering a $20,000 reward. Police say after Alisa...
That's the website that I have in my description and also pinned at the top of the chat, you guys.
Alisa went missing, they found an iPad in her room that revealed that she was allegedly speaking with older men online. Police found several conversations on the iPad through a hidden Instagram account, and those conversations were with a man identified as Matt. Police say Matt was later identified as 35-year-old Matthew Menard, who lives in Miami. His full name, Matthew Nicholas Menard. According to the probable cause affidavit we read through, Menard knew Alisa was 15, and at one point police say that Menard asked Petrov.
This reporter speaks, he said that the Matthew Menard that they're thinking it was, that he hid his LinkedIn and all of his social media right after his name came out, but they don't feel comfortable saying exactly who he is and showing his photos and things like that, and which I understand too. The only photo that I have seen or anything about him is in the Daily Mail, and we know how it goes with that website. But this reporter is saying that Matthew is in tech for his work. So imagine that too, you guys. This quote unquote predator, you know, these crimes are just alleged right now, so I do have to say that, but he is in tech, so imagine how much more he could advise her on how to hide stuff, you know. Nicole says, I just wanted to add in, if you support or follow missing people in America, please do a search on them. It recently came out the founder has child-related charges against him dating back many years. Oh, my goodness. I did see something about that. But let me go back and look right fast. Let me find that picture. Is this the same one, Nicole? This one says missing in America. I remember I remember MPIA. I remember seeing something like that. But see, this is an example of the is it still big, you guys, so that you can see it? This is an example of the billboards, and it says missing in America, not missing people in America. Let me see. That one, that is MPIA. That's the one I showed you guys. And this one is missing in America. So hopefully they're different. Okay. Yeah. So it's different, you guys. I'll make sure that I don't show that missing people in America anymore. I did show you guys that. I did show you that one, MPIA. So I will not be showing any more of their stuff anymore. Yeah, thank you so very much for bringing that to our attention. That's awful. Oh my gosh.
Quote, are you secretly 15? And Petrov replies, WTF, of course, yeppers, I'm actually in middle school. Police say after it was established that Petrov was 15, Menard said, quote, but FR though, when we meet, we gonna be expletive all night. And that is just some of the sexually explicit things this 35-year-old man allegedly said to this 15-year-old girl online. Court documents show that Menard also allegedly told the girl to send nude pictures of herself, with Menard referring to himself as, quote, daddy. Police say for several months, Menard allegedly solicited sex, sodomy, and child sex abuse material from the 15-year-old girl. He allegedly went into detail about sexually abusing the teen. The lines police say that he sent, according to court records, they're some of the sickest and most twisted I have seen someone send someone in a story like this in covering these stories. Now, Menard then allegedly created a plan to have Alisa leave her family and leave Utah to go meet him in person. He said in late May, he would be traveling to Las Vegas for work. He also allegedly talked about having sex with the girl in Las Vegas. He then said they would go to Los Angeles for several days and then would return to his home city of Miami, Florida. Police also say that Menard told Alisa about plans to have her avoid detection when they were together, allegedly telling her they could tell others that the 15-year-old was actually his daughter. At the time of this recording, it is unclear where Alisa is, and it is also unclear where Menard is, though he has been charged with sex crimes in Utah in connection to this young girl's disappearance. We're also still working to get a picture of Matthew Menard confirmed. Now, Menard's not the only person who has been charged in connection with Alisa's disappearance. We do have a picture of this man.
You guys heard all that, right? That's why I'm glad this is one time that I couldn't find the affidavit exactly. How the reporters are explaining what's in them is absolutely enough. And this is one time that I will not be filling out a FOIA so I can see that for myself. This is absolutely horrendous, abhorrent, disgusting, and all the other words I can't think of right now.
William Taylor Gleans. He is 37 years old and he lives in Texas City, Texas. That's near Galveston on Texas's Gulf Coast. Police found that Alisa was allegedly communicating with Gleans online as well. He's currently in custody facing charges of possession of child pornography and online solicitation of a minor in Texas. Police say they learned that Alisa was allegedly communicating with Gleans after she went missing. According to KSL TV in Utah, Gleans also allegedly knew Alisa's age, and their conversations were sexual in nature. He also allegedly demanded that she continue actions that she told him were hurting her mental health, according to the television station. Court records show that police say that Alisa used a stranger's phone to send Gleans a message saying that she was safe and for him not to respond. And that was on May 8th. So she sent that several weeks after she went missing in Utah. It also says that she sent it from a bus stop in Utah, again, several weeks after she went missing, last seen in Provo. Gleans was arrested.
Wait, they said she contacted him several weeks after she went missing. I don't think that's right, you guys. I don't think that's right. They said May 8th, but that's when he was arrested. I think they got that wrong. Let me see.
Gleans a message saying that she was safe and for him not to respond. And that was on May 8th. So she sent that several weeks after she went missing in Utah. It also says that she sent it from a bus stop in Utah. Again,
that's not right. I'll show you guys in a second why that's not right.
Several weeks after she went missing, last seen in Provo. Gleans was arrested by Texas City Police, and this is the picture that the Texas City Police Department put on their Facebook announcing his arrest. Texas court records show that Gleans is charged with online solicitation of a minor and possession of child pornography. In Utah, Gleans has been charged with 2 counts of aggravated sexual exploitation of a minor, 2 counts of attempted aggravated sexual exploitation of a minor, 2 counts of sexual exploitation.
Wait, what I want to show, what I thought, okay, this was on Texas City. That's where that Glean was. But this was on the 9th. On Thursday, May 8th, our Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, Criminal Investigations Division, and Crime Suppression Unit began assisting South Jordan Police Department in the investigation of a missing child. Let me see. So they got that tip on May 8th. Maybe she did reach out to him on the 8th. I don't know about that, but it said from a Utah. I'm thinking it was the same day that she went missing. I'll have to look into that more. I think that they have their days wrong.
Exploitation of a minor, a count of enticement of a minor, and 3 counts of criminal solicitation. Gleans is being held on no bond. Now, as for Menard, the man who at the time of this recording is still missing, he is facing 6 charges in Utah, including aggravated sexual exploitation of a minor, enticement of a minor, criminal solicitation, and criminal solicitation in the disappearance of Alisa Petrov. A no bail warrant has been issued for him for when he is taken into custody. Joining us now to break this case down is missing persons private investigator Steve Fisher. It's always great to have you on these types of cases. This is one where there's a lot of questions, and now we have 3 people between the 2 suspects and then this missing 15-year-old girl. What stands out to you as far as what may be going on with this story?
Well, one thing that stands out is she's been gone quite a while now, and they have now released the suspect information. They've got one in custody. It appears like they were 2 separate instances. I don't think the 2 guys are tied together, but it appears that she probably met up with this Matthew Menard, who's been charged in Utah now, and I guess the hunt is on.
This is what I was telling you guys to pay attention to. In a few articles, I read that police don't think she met up with either one of them, but here Steve is saying he thinks she did meet up with one of them. So, but they didn't arrest that Gleans until May the 8th, and she was last seen on April 21st. So there is a few weeks in there that he could have met up with her. But who knows about these people? If it's a ring, he could have passed her on to somebody else. So, this is awful, guys.
Yeah, because she leaves Provo, Utah. That was the last time that she was seen.
Right.
In your experience, because I always find it interesting how, you can have someone on surveillance video and then they're gone. How is it that someone can just slip through the cracks like that, where it seemed like they were able to track her from this gas station that was in American Fork to the train station, Provo, and then she vanishes?
Yeah, and I imagine so. This, since she's a minor, and since they do believe the intention was to stay cross lines, this is one that the FBI is going to be involved in, and I would think that they probably do have more surveillance because we know that she went through the rail system and at her exit point, entrance and exit point, and even on the train, there should be surveillance. And then, of course, if she did ultimately take transportation to Las Vegas, which I think was the plan, then you're talking about, she's going to the city with the most surveillance cameras in the world. So they probably have more, and although they've put the suspect in.
God, thinking about Las Vegas, it just hit my brain. Also, that Matthew, the one that's not in jail yet, in his messages to her, he also said that he would get a sex worker, but he wrote the word hooker. He said he would get a quote unquote hooker to engage in sexual activity with both of them. What a sick bastard, you guys. That just hit my brain that he actually said that to this 15-year-old child. She's a child.
Information out there. I don't think they're completely in the dark, as to where, they could be, or they probably have a good indication of areas of interest. He's running out of options. I think he's aware of this. If it's a person that I think that I've identified, they've made all their social media private, so they're probably aware this is going on and they're actively hiding. However, we leave a digital trail everywhere we go now. So unless he had a ton of cash with him, he's not going to be able to use credit cards. He's not going to be able to use identification for anything. They have a real problem, and he really should give himself up, because this is a case where He looks like, he's a guy that's got a good job and everything. He's educated. He should be smart enough to turn himself in on this and end this, because this is not going to end well for him.
Right, because I know we were talking before we were recording this that we think we kind of have an idea of who this person is, but just not enough yet to kind of name them and show their picture up on the screen. I did search Matthew Menard in Miami-Dade County court records. He doesn't come up. He's not in custody in Vegas, Los Angeles, or Florida, which were kind of the three places that he was talking about. Typically, when you're looking for someone, and in this case, a 15-year-old girl, what's the strategy to announce charges against this person, knowing that, I would worry that this is a guy who might be coming to grips with the fact that life is about to be much different once he's brought into custody. And then that raises the concern for the safety of the girl. But here's Utah authorities kind of coming forward and saying this is a person he's going to be charged with these offenses.
So it might be exactly, what you brought up. Like, there's not, I think if it's the person that we were talking about, there's an old charge, small charge for possession of marijuana. And so they might have profiled him and just said, we don't think that he is a risk to really harm her if, he knows that we know. And they probably assumed, listen, if it's the right person, IT guy, and he knows. They did disclose in the probable cause affidavit that he was advising her on how to avoid being detected, digitally, as she made her way to Las Vegas, and he would be there later in May on a work trip. So, they probably figured, listen, he knows that we've got warrants and open up these devices, and know who he is, and they probably figured that he just wasn't that risk that he would, if he was made, he would harm her in that way, and it probably to put pressure on him, to be honest, to be like, do the smart thing here.
Right. And I know, and it's your line of work that, finding.
Let me read to you guys what it says here about that, Matthew. It says, based on text conversations that were found between Menard and Petrov on social media, investigators were first able to glean some information about runaway plans. Matt and the victim also have extensive conversations where they plan on the juvenile running away from home to meet him in Las Vegas, Nevada. Matt tells the victim he will fly to Las Vegas for a business trip later in May, and she can lay low until he gets there. They then plan to fly to Los Angeles together for several days before ultimately going back to Miami, Florida, where Matt lives. Well, where was he planning on her staying in Las Vegas until late May? This was late April when she ran away. Hippie chick. Yep, I'll show you. The warrant states the two discuss methods in which the victim can travel without being tracked and avoid detection. And he's in IT, remember. They also discuss their future plans and how they can create a false scenario where Matt tells people she is his daughter. That's what I was telling you guys. It says in one of the conversations, Petrov confirmed to Menard that she was 15 years old and was a minor. Menard acknowledges Petrov's age and kept chatting with her about sex. Instructed Petrov to take inappropriate photos of her and send them to him. I was trying to see here if they said again that they don't think that she was with either one of them. He was arrested on May 8th. Law and Crime was wrong. They said that she spoke to him, sent that text to him on May 8th, but that's not true. Yeah, it says Sojo will continue efforts to locate Alyssa and follow other leads. Alyssa is attempting to meet individuals she met online using multiple social media platforms and chat applications. Oh, so they found these two guys from her Instagram, but it says here she's using social media platforms and chat applications. Oh my goodness, you guys, bless her, bless her. She didn't know. Oh, she didn't know what kind of danger. She's listed as a runaway juvenile who is endangered. I'll show you guys. Let me find the only photo I have of him is from Daily Mail. Uh, this one. So this is that Gleans dude, and then this is Matthew Menard, and this is what this is who Daily Mail is showing it is. So they have to have some reason. Usually I wouldn't show, but you know, this is what they're saying. And I know that we don't trust everything the Daily Mail says, but I haven't found anything wrong that they've said so far about any of the cases that I've looked into, to be honest with you.
People can be a lot more difficult than the public can understand. But then also it's, how is a 15-year-old able to avoid everybody and just kind of vanish and get states away? And she might be very good at convincing people because she took a ride with someone in a car to the train station that they didn't know. She may have traded, a phone for cash, according to the mom. So she seems actually pretty smart, pretty convincing around people. But just, are you surprised that she would actually be able on her own? Because this wasn't a case like in other ones we've had where unfortunately these conversations happen online and then someone comes and picks that person up and they drive away. It seems that she left on her own and just kind of vanished.
Yeah, and again, let's be clear. She was lured. I mean, and I know you're not suggesting otherwise, but I mean, this is a 15-year-old and impressionable, and here's two men in their mid to late 30s. This is we have an age of 18 for a reason because this is a young adult who's still.
It's okay, Hippie. If you're confused, other people are confused too. So please always ask me, you guys. And my brain works faster. My mouth works pretty fast, but sometimes my brain works faster than my mouth, even, and I can't get everything out that I want to get out. I think that I might have a touch of ADD, but I haven't been diagnosed or anything yet. So Fisher says that he believes that she might be with Menard. I do know that authorities took his phone right after she went missing. So, and then I guess that they couldn't arrest him until they went through his device and found everything. And then they issued an arrest warrant, and it's no bail, but he's not arrested yet. So I'm kind of with Steve that he's obviously on the run, and that's what Daily Mail said, but other places aren't saying he's quote unquote on the run yet. Okay, Debbie, that's fine, no problem. We're gonna finish this video and then we're gonna get to the good stories. So just a bit, yeah.
Still developing and impressionable, and he lured her, and the people that prey on these type of young women and men for that matter, it's just inexcusable. But it doesn't surprise me necessarily that it didn't raise too many red flags. It just seems like in the society now, like you have minors taking Ubers and Lyfts and whatnot. And I had a case not too long ago of a 15-year-old that got off a plane in Denver, was lured off a plane in Denver while she was Snapchatting somebody at the airport, and she did not have to be accompanied on the plane, which shocked us. And then even when she went missing, it didn't really get taken that seriously. It just seems like it's becoming too commonplace in this country. I mean, this should be national news.
Right, and it's something that I know for the last week. It's been a big deal in Utah, and as far as her being able to disappear, being smart, and all that, just the fact on her own that she was able to travel to wherever she was being lured to,
Right.
and
Mhm.
I think about how police reportedly found a hidden Instagram account on her iPad, and that's where
Mhm.
she was having these conversations. How are teens? I say this as a parent myself, and one day I'll have to deal with this. I mean, the ability to hide these conversations that we see in so many of these cases where they're talking with predators online. They may not know that these are bad people they're talking to, but
Right.
how easy is it to create an account where you can hide these types of conversations, even when your parents might be thinking that they know what you're talking about on your iPad?
It's shockingly easy. I deal with so many of these cases with minors and them being lured. I mean, it's the majority of my business, and these Instagram accounts in particular. What they do is they set up an Instagram account. They'll have no pictures, no anything. It's solely for the purpose of messaging, and it's usually just a five digit set of numbers and letters that has some meaning to them. And so you would never ever find it in a search looking for the person. They don't have a profile picture. They're only meant for DMing, and then they have these codes between them, that they'll put in the profile, kind of like, especially if they're like connected to somebody or dating somebody. It's very, very hard because they're privated and they're only for the sake of messaging. And, what's incredible is to think that Meta literally has, the key to crack all these cases. I mean, majority of these cases. I mean, it seems like it would really have teams in there dedicated to helping law enforcement instead of making it such a process with, warrants and subpoenas and whatnot. I mean, this goes on. There are thousands and thousands of kids out there that we could find right now if we could get access to those meta accounts that we can't.
Yeah, and it was surprising. I think whenever I see like Instagram come up, and it does in this case, because we're not talking about one of those apps that are typically as controversial, the Telegrams of the world, or one of those video game platforms people go through. This was Instagram that she was on, and she was able to get in touch also allegedly with William Taylor Gleans. He's 37, Texas City, Texas. And it's just, as much as it is disturbing Matthew Menard and what he's accused of, William Taylor
Yeah.
Gleans, it seems like, I mean, he has a record
Yep.
and some violent crimes like assault, and then
Yep.
very twisted stuff that he was apparently saying to Alisa Petrov. What stands out to you in
Yep.
his profile? And he is now in custody.
Yeah, so he's in custody, and they did get a warrant for his phone, and they've, charged him with, possession of that material. So we know he had it on there. We learned from that probable cause affidavit that she actually borrowed somebody's phone at a train station and contacted him. So these are two men. I don't believe that they're connected at all. I mean, I don't know that for sure, but they're making some sort of promises to her, or they reeled her in somehow, and to where, I mean, to go borrow a phone to reach out to this guy, they've got her reeled in somehow, and that's sick. These are guys who have dedicated their lives to.
He said they have her reeled in somehow, but they also could be doing that sextortion stuff to you guys. Like I said, where they could have even act like they were her age and solicited inappropriate photos of her, and then little kids, young kids, even 10 guys, 9, 10, have taken their own lives over this sextortion stuff. Who knows, they could have even been doing that. And I'm telling you with everything in me, I don't feel like Alisa is their only victim. I just don't feel that's possible where these predators would have gotten caught with their first victim. I just don't feel that.
Figuring out ways of manipulating minors into these things, and which this will listen. This is something that's going to affect this young lady for the rest of her life. And it's just I hope that once it's proven, and once they're caught and it's proven, I really hope that they get serious sentences, because people like this, I mean, this is just happening way too often.
It is, and these are the monsters. I mean, when you think about, all the PSAs that are out there about, like, make sure you know who your kids are talking to. You never know who they're going to be on the other side of it. I mean, William Taylor Gleans, Matthew Nicholas Menard. I mean, these guys are both the alleged monsters that you're
Yeah.
terrified of being on the other side of the iPad. How is it, like, on Instagram that these two guys could actually get in touch with the 15-year-old? And how does that actually happen? Where, I mean, this isn't some dark web chat room where you would think that predators are lurking, but I mean, Instagram, everybody's got Instagram.
That's a good question, because most of these accounts are privated and stuff, and there's probably a lot of sharing of these usernames of these young women who maybe are more susceptible. There there could be a lot of different ways, but once they lock in, I'm sure they're not.
Oh, wow. Did you guys hear what Steve just said? He said that that these predators share young ladies' names between each other. Like, oh, well, I know that she likes this, or, if you talk to her this way, you can get in further good with her. Or if you do this, she'll do more of what you say. How sick is that, you guys? I would have never thought that.
Not 100% truthful about their ages, although we do know from what authorities have said that Menard told her he would be coming to Las Vegas on a business trip. And the other thing that's interesting about that is he told her that would be in late May, and then they would come to Los Angeles. So that would be about
Right.
now, right? So, and she's been gone a month. He told her to go there and lay low. So there's got to be somebody else. Either Menard gave her a bunch of money somehow to get a motel or whatever, or there's somebody else involved that.
Hippie chick, you were picking up exactly what he was about to say. I forgot this. That he said exactly what we were just talking about. That Menard wasn't supposed to come from Miami to Las Vegas until right now, a month after she went missing. So there has to be somebody that he wasn't just planning on sending her out there and having her be on the streets and going to homeless shelters and stuff like that. He had to have a plan. So there absolutely is other people that were, and who knows if he was even planning to go out there and meet her or not. It might have been the plan to get her out there where the ring could get a hold of her in the first place. Who knows with these sick bastards.
She's laying low with.
Right, because eventually you're going to need to get cash, I assume, and an ATM's has cameras, and but whether it's a credit card or of all the different ways. I mean, you can only cover it. It seems like for so long. Yeah, and kind of speaking to the point about understanding, at least in Menard's case, that he knew he was talking to a 15-year-old. This was from KSL TV. I just pulled this up. Quote, they also discuss their future plans and how they can create a false scenario where Matt tells people that she is his daughter, which is sick.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. I mean, in your experience, when this turns into, say he gets arrested and you have lines like that in a probable cause affidavit, I imagine that goes very far in a case in making sure that he is in custody for a long time.
Yeah. And that's in writing. From what we've learned, those are DMs that they've sent. So he's going to have a hard time saying that that's not how I meant it. But I do, the thing that stands out to me is that she's been gone almost a month, I believe it is, and he told her to go lay low. A 15-year-old doesn't just go check herself into a hotel or motel for a month. So he must know somebody out there, or there must have been an arrangement. Somebody is holding her, I would think, in the meantime, because he said he'd not be in Vegas until late May or later in May. So
and you wonder, unless he was right, and unless he was a total loner, people in Miami would be wondering where he is, if he's run off with someone, or it seems like there's just seems like there's a lot, and you know better than I do. It just seems like there's a lot of things here that you would believe would be leading investigators at that point. Just finally, Steve, I mean, where does the investigation go from here? The charges are out. All these police departments in Utah and now Texas are looking. I'm sure authorities in Vegas have the lookout. I mean, is it kind of just a waiting game to
Well,
have that moment where
I
it
think
flags up?
I think the FBI's digital forensics team is going to probably be the one that's going to crack this. Just the fact that since his name has come out, he shut down. If it's the person we think, he shut down all of his business and social media profiles. He logged in somewhere, and even if that's through a VPN, I guarantee the FBI teams right now are dealing with LinkedIn and Instagram and the others, and seeing where those IP addresses came from, where when he did shut the accounts down, to give them a better starting point. But just the fact that he did that, he left a digital footprint.
Yeah, and you just hope now that this girl can be brought home to her family, and they've been very vocal, just wanting to have their daughter back, and you hope everything ends safely, and then these two guys end up behind bars if what they're alleged to have done is.
So, guys, I am hoping that, okay, so this week we had a good update at the beginning because Tiffany was found, right? So let's pray that next week we have a good update at the beginning. Oh, guys, also on my community post, I put her flyer and I put Alisa's flyer. So if you guys could share that, I would be so appreciative. And you don't even have to share my channel. If you just share her flyer, or I also put her parents' website with more resources and all kinds of pictures. Most of the pictures that I shared today of her, I actually got from that website. So you could get the information there and share it for yourselves. And if she's found, hopefully she is safely before our live next week, I'll update that community post too. And all the resources I usually try to put in my description. So I did that this week too. So hopefully we have another good update like we had last week, you guys. Now I wanted to show you guys some good stories that we had. Like I told you guys at the beginning, my holler suffered tremendously in the well, I call all of southeastern Kentucky the holler, but we suffered tremendously with the EF4 tornado that hit the Friday before last, and 17 people lost their lives. And I would like to 17 people in London, Kentucky alone lost their lives. And then 2 people in the next county lost their lives too. And I would like to read their names to you guys. Thanks, Carl. Thank you, buddy. I really appreciate that. It really means a lot to me when you guys compliment me, because doing the most for the victims, that's what matters the most to me, and it feels really good when you guys think so too. You guys, also about I have to tell you guys about this. We're going to get to the good stories, but I feel like I have to respect the ones that lost their lives. I would like to read their names to you guys, and just please remember them in your prayers and their families. It's Richard and Wanda McFall, Linda and Gary Sweet, Bobby and Bernice Tillman, Roger Leslie Leatherman, June Fisher, Darlene Miller, Nancy Clem, Paul Mason, Pam Mason, Sherry Smith, Tiffany Helm, Ray Cowan, Kenneth Elliott, Marshall Miracle, Lisa Fortney, and Melody Godby and Deborah Edelman. They were killed in the next county over from London, Kentucky. So please remember them in your prayers. And I don't have the names of the last time I checked, there was 10 people still in still in critical condition. Um, there was a couple, you guys, and I don't have their names right offhand, but they were holding on to each other. Oh, right here, Paul and Gail Klein. They were holding on to each other and they lost opposite arms, you guys, because they were holding on to each other so much. And she is on life support and he has dementia, so he's not understanding things very well. So they need our prayers too, you guys. They're not on the list of names I just read, but they really need our prayers too, you guys. And if I can't have that type of love where I hold on like that, I don't want it. I really seriously don't. Bless them, you guys. Hey Sunday, good to see you. Thanks, guys. Um, but I wanted to show you guys some of the a family member sent me some of these links, and they it this was the next day, I believe, and you guys won't believe it's it's really really bad. I just wanted to show you guys if you hadn't seen this. This is drone footage. Um and it's really bad. And then I promise I have a good story after this, but this is just to see what these people lived through, you guys. Thanks, Carl. That we don't have a basement or anything, so we were thinking that was our best option. But a lot of people that make it, you do hear that they've made it because they've been in the bathtub. Um, but look how awful this is, you guys. It's just decimated. It really, really is. I'm surprised in a night tornado. Most people, usually in the night it takes more lives. People are sleeping and don't get alerts. Yeah. Uh. And you guys, I thought about something else. I'm not sure if it's the next video that I'm gonna show you guys, because there was two videos where she is speaking. It is Tara. And let me show you guys this. She talks about that her Tara Holyfield and her 23-month-old son Parker. She talks that they lost their Wi-Fi went out, and she said for some reason that her cell service went out too. So how do you warn people? Most of us, we don't have weather channels, or we don't have NOAA weather radio and stuff like that. And if we can't, if our phones, if we don't have Wi-Fi, we can't listen to Ryan Hall or read. And so how are we going to get updates? And especially if our friends and family can't call us. Nature Rock says it doesn't take long to change our life forever. Ain't that the truth? Yeah, me too, you guys. Yep, hippie chick, that's what we've always heard too. And this is her. So this is Tara and her 23-month-old son Parker. And I'll let her explain it to you themselves, but they're absolutely fine, you guys. Their house is not anymore, but they're absolutely fine. Look at him. Bless him. She had some head trauma, and so that's why, it makes me think that my mom is onto something with the helmet, and that's them again. She had some head trauma, but he was absolutely fine. She said she was looking for him, and she found him by his cry. I'll share their GoFundMe with you guys too. Um, but let me play the video for you guys where she explains things a little bit better. Let me see here. And like always with GoFundMe, you know, for your own discretion. But I'm sure they could use it. And if, look into if you can donate. There's another video that has some recommendations about a vigil after this, and I'll play that for you guys too.
Today, talking with folks about the recovery efforts. I want to bring in my colleague now, 10 News reporter Olivia Daig. And Olivia, you talked to a mother who really went through so much.
Brittany, absolutely. Today I met a young mother. Her name is Tara, and I met her almost 2-year-old son, Parker. Tara was not able to save her home, her car, and even some of her neighbors. But because she was able to save her toddler, today she feels lucky. Here's her story.
There is a part of our dresser on top of that mattress.
Pieces. That's all that's left of Tara Hollyfield's home.
The house was right here, where this concrete slab is. And they said that most of my stuff was over here in the neighbor's yard.
Friday night, she was in bed, alerted by the...
It's 1,000 wonders and a miracle, you guys, that her and her baby got out of this. Did you hear her? She said the house was over here on this slab. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't think they have sirens around this area, if I'm remembering correctly. We do here, thank goodness, and we can hear them pretty good, but I don't think they do up there.
Sound of wind and frantic texts from family members.
You see it on the news and on social media, but you don't ever think it would happen to you.
Look at her head, guys. Bless her heart. And I'm sure she didn't even feel that when she was looking for little Parker.
You or your families.
She realized the storm was coming towards her home. She rushed to get her son, but the storm hit first.
It flew me all up in the air, and when I landed, I stood immediately up and I went to go look for him.
She found her baby in a pile of debris.
The first thing I remember is when I got down, I really thought my son was dead. He's not even 2 years old yet.
After some stitches, she's hugging him tight and picking up the pieces of her life.
They found an ultrasound picture when I was pregnant with my son. They found some of his toys, some of our clothes. We had a safe with some money in it.
Things can be replaced.
All of my neighbors that were around me are gone.
Her family can't.
It's tough. But I'm just thankful to be alive. It's a miracle to God that we're both alive, really.
Amen.
And today we're learning that Tara is with her family. She's living with an aunt and an uncle with her family. Her husband was also okay. She says that there are so many families in this neighborhood just like hers that are needing help. And we have some more information and resources available for you to support these families like Tara's online on WBIR.com.
I know, guys, it is truly a miracle. Absolutely.
Survivors continued to sift through the...
I've found a few more stories of that. We can, NorCal Jim says, surprising how animals are pre-disaster indicators. If you know the signs, they are much more tuned into the earth and not caught up in all the stuff we are consumed with. Well, you know that night, Jim, when me and my mama were in the bathtub, we turned on on our doorbell so we could look outside, and we still saw moths and stuff flying around, and we still heard the frogs, and we knew that was a very good sign if we could still hear and see those things. You're absolutely right. Oh wow, hippie chick. She says we could always figure out an earthquake was coming because the ants would come up in my kitchen sink area. Well, I never knew about that. You guys are right. Absolutely. Yeah, guys, so please remember my holler in your prayers. So you guys understand where I was in my headspace last week. I couldn't concentrate, and I was just worried about everybody. And also, did you hear Tara said that they found a safe that they had some money in? That's another thing, you guys. People were up there looting through people's homes. People were up there trying to scrounge whatever mementos that they could from their whole lives. And they couldn't leave because overnight looters would come in trying to see what they could get. How sorry do you have to be to do that to somebody? The police were having to go up there and the um watch the worst hit neighborhoods so that wouldn't happen. Who thinks about stuff like that? Uh that's awful too, you guys. Yeah, that storm was over a mile wide, and they said that winds hit up to 170 miles an hour, I think is what they said. Um Guys, I also want to drop Trista's link. She is our friend and moderator that's in here. Her hours at work have changed, so she's not been able to come in as much, but that's her channel, and she has been posting what she shares a devotional each day in my Discord, but she also has been posting it there on her community post every day. So if you subscribe to her, you will see it. And also we have to share Van's link, Nature Rocks. She posts some really interesting stuff on her community tab too, and she did the greatest video, you guys. If you haven't watched it yet, you need to, where 5 deer come up in her yard, and it's just, I was watching the deer, but I also was just listening. You can hear the wind blowing and the nature sounds, and it's, I can't watch those fake, you guys know how they have on YouTube where it's like 10 hours of nature sounds or whatever. They never sound real to me, but that was so real. And I almost fell asleep a few times watching it. It's a really, really good one, you guys. So please check that out for Van. Thanks, hippie chick. We love Trista. We do. So let me show you guys Alisa one last time. I deleted the missing people in America. I'm going to check that out. I'm glad that Nicole reminded me of that. But this is missing in America. They don't have any controversies. Hopefully not. But remember, she is 15. She's 122 pounds, 5 feet 3 inches tall, very long brown hair, brown eyes, and she has a small birthmark on her stomach and a 2-inch discoloration on her left hand from a burn. And then it speaks about her eye. It says one eye wanders off when she is too tired. So she really could be anywhere, you guys. She was last seen in Provo, Utah, but remember, she was trying to get to Las Vegas, and then the one male that she was talking to was from Texas City, Texas, and then the other, Matthew Menard, was from Miami, Florida. So she could really be anywhere, you guys. Thank you guys all so much for coming to hang out with me today. It really means a lot to me, you guys, because I know that we can make more money, but we can't make more time. So it really means a lot that you guys choose to come and spend your time with me. And thank you to my moderators. Always, you guys are my friends, and my friends first, and you give your time freely to help me. And I so appreciate that. Don't forget to say your prayers, guys, and take your vitamins. And I'll see you next time. I love you guys. Thank you so very much. Bye bye.